What's up, everybody, and welcome to Read the Bible with me. I'm Stan Jr., and today we're looking at 1 Samuel chapter 22. 1 Samuel chapter 22. And if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell. If you are a Bible Club member, please comment and like this video. I'm so grateful for your $10 donation through the Patreon account every month. We cannot send Bibles out. We can't send missionary help out around the world without your $10 donation. So if you'd like to do that, click the link below and let's get started with this not so long chapter in 1 Samuel. Let's go. So it says, David departed from there and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And when his brothers and all his father's houses heard, they went down there to him. And everyone who was in distress, and everyone who was in debt, and everyone who was bitter in soul, gathered to him. And he became captain over them. And there were with him about 400 men. So, you know the saying, misery loves company. These people gathered to David because they knew he was a leader. He came, and everybody knew at this point that he was the son-in-law to Saul, who was the king. So David gathers these men, they come together, and he is made a captain over them. And David went from there to Mizpah of Moab. And he said to the king of Moab, please let my father and my mother stay with you till I know that God will do what God will do for me. And he left them with the king of Moab. And they stayed with him all the time that David was in the stronghold. Then the prophet Gad said to David, do not remain in the stronghold. Depart and go into the land of Judah. So David departed and went into the forest of Herath. Now Saul heard that David was discovered, and the men who were with him. Saul was sitting at Gibeah under the tamarisk tree in the height with his spear in his hand, and all his servants were standing about him. And Saul said to the servants who stood about him, hear now, people of Benjamin, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards? Will he make you all commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds? That all of you that have conspired against me, no one discloses to me when my son makes a covenant with me, the son of Jesse. None of you is sorry for me or discloses to me that my son has stirred up my servant against me to lie in wait at this day. Then answered Doeg the Edomite, who stood by the servants of Saul, I saw the son of Jesse coming out of Nob to Amalek the son of Ahitub, and he inquired of the Lord for him and gave him provisions, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine. Then the king sent to summon Amalek the priest, the son of Ahitub, and all his father's house, the priests who were at Nob, and all of them came to the king. And Saul said, hear now, son of Ahitub. And he answered, here I am, my lord. And Saul said to him, why have you conspired against me, you and the son of Jesse, in that you have given him bread and a sword, and have inquired of God for him, so that he is risen against me to lie in wait as at this day? Then Amalek answered the king, and who among all your servants is so faithful as David? Who is the king's son-in-law, the captain over your bodyguard, and honored in your house? Is today the first time that I have inquired of God for him? No, let not the king impute anything to his servant or to all the house of my father, for your servant has known nothing of all this, much or little. And the king said, you shall surely die, Amalek, you and all your father's houses. And the king said to the guard who stood about him, turn and kill the priests of the Lord, because their hand also was with David. And they knew that he fled and did not disclose it to me. But the servants of the king would not put out their hand to strike the priest of the Lord. Then the king said to Doeg, you turn and strike the priest. And Doeg the Edomite turned and struck down the priest, and he killed on that day 85 priests. He killed on that day 85 persons who were in linen ephod. And Nob, the city of the priests, he put to the sword, both man and woman, child and infant, ox and donkey and sheep. he put to the sword. But one of the sons of Amalek, the son of Ahitub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David. And Abiathar told David that Saul had killed the priest of the Lord. And David said to Abiathar, I knew on that day when Doeg the Edomite was there, that he would surely tell Saul, I have occasioned the death of all the persons of your father's house. Stay with me. Do not be afraid, for he who seeks my life seeks your life. With me you shall be in safekeeping. And that's a good friend. He's saying, hey, if you're with me, we're going to do this together. Join my company of, worthless men, as the Bible would normally say, because David was running for his life, to be quite honest. And what happens is Saul let that jealousy grow in him. And now it's ended up turning him into some savage, killing women, children, killing holy men, priests. And so all of this has come to a climax here, because he let it fester in him. We've got to address the sin right when the thought comes. That's what the Bible says. Cast down any imagination that exalts itself higher than God, because it is wrong. And when you keep thinking wrong thoughts, you'll start taking wrong action. And when you start taking wrong action, you'll start living wrong. So we've got to be very careful on what we allow to grow inside of us. That was chapter 22 of the book of 1 Samuel. Thank you so much for reading along with me. Of course, as you know, I love your company. Thank you. Share this. Invite somebody else to read along with us each day. And if you would like to become a patron, click the link below. Our goal is 100 patrons this year. And so we're at 53 or 4 right now. And so if you would click that link in my description, or if you need help, just leave a comment saying, help me become a patron or something like that, and I'll help you go through the process, okay? But thank you so much for your support. We cannot do ministry without it. I love you. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.